Book 3-7. So it's you, money, who's caused our life's afflictions, by Prprts. So it's you, money, who's caused our life's afflictions. For you we go death's journey prematurely. You proffer callously food to man's vice. The seeds of anxiety spring from your source. You 3 or 4 times with raving seas whelmed Prprts, setting his sails for Pharaoh's harbor. For while he followed you, he fell from his prime, and floats exotic food for distant fishes. His mother could not pay just dues to his filial clay, nor inhume his ashes among his kin. But sea-birds now stand over your bones, and now your barrow is the whole Carpathian Sea. Calamitous north winds raped Orthidia's dread from him. Was such great plunders yours? Neptune, why rejoice in that wrecked ship? The hull carried righteous men. Prprts, why count your age? Why as you swim is your mother's dear name in your mouth? The breakers have no gods. Their strands frayed through, your cables moored to boulders, all failed in the tempest by night. There are the shores that witness Agamemnon's woe, which marks the ominous flood with Arginian's price. Atres would not launch his fleet for this boy's loss, for which delay Iphigenia was sacrificed. Give back his corpse to earth, his life is laid in the deep. Of your accord you worthless sands have covered Prprts. Whenever a sailor goes past Prprts' tomb, may he say, you are able to fight the brave. Go then, build curving ships and instruments of death. Such ends as these are wrought by human hands. The land was too small, we've added the sea to fate. We've cleverly opened fortune's unhappy roads. Would anchors hold you, whom household gods could not? What would you say he deserves, whose country is too small? Whatever you build is the wind's, no keel grows old. The very port deceives your trust. Nature has smoothed the main to ambush greed. It can hardly be that you win through even once. Triumphant vessels broke up on Carpathian rocks. Shipwrecked Greece was drawn down by a mighty tide. Ulysses wept at the overboard piecemeal loss of his crew. Against the sea his ingrained craftiness lacked its power. Had he been content to plow the fields with his father's ox, had he taken in the force of my advice, he would have lived, a pleasant table companion, before his household gods, though poor, have wept on dry land for nothing except for wealth. Now Prprts has borne these things, to hear the tempests shriek and hurt soft hands with hard rope. In a citrus or a tenebrith panelled cabin, his head was rested on down of shifting hues. From this man while he lived, the surge took off his nails by the roots. His pitiful gaping mouth sucked in the horrible water. Unruly night saw him borne on a little plank. So many evils ran together that Prprts might die. Yet, weeping, he gave these plaintive last commands as the dark flood slurred his moribund lips. Aegean sea gods who sway the ocean, winds whatever weigh down my head, where are you carrying off the hapless years of my earliest beard? I brought slender hands to your foam. O grief! I shall be dashed on Halcyon's jagged rocks. The blue god's trident has been raised against me. At least may the breakers cast me up on Italian ground. This will be enough of me, if only it reaches my mother. As he spoke, a whirling eddy dragged him down. This was the last of Prprts' speech and day. O 100 sea-girls, Nereus' daughters, and you, Thetis, racked by a mother's love, you should have put your arms beneath his exhausted chin. He could not have weighed down your hands. You, North Wind, shall never see my sails. My proper part is to lay out my sluggish self before my mistress's door. That is Book 3:7. So it's you, money, whose cause are life's afflictions. That is by Prprts.